Welcome to Food Trek. I'm Chef Gilbert. Today at Shamsane Bakery with owner, operator, Karim Sharifat and his son Reza. So Reza, Karim, tell us a little bit about yourself and the bakery.
Thank you, Gilbert. We started the Shamsane Bakery 17 years ago in Calgary from handmade bread to now expanding to automated machinery, and we are making different kind of bread. Most of the flatbread available in the market, probably we make it. A few that is left, we're gonna have it in future made.
All right, well, we can start talking about the history of flatbread. Now, there's a lot of ancient history when it comes to flatbread. People call it different names. If you look at Ethiopian restaurants, for example, injera is one of those breads that you tear apart with your hand and you grab the food with. And that's the whole idea behind pita bread. Different people have names for it. India, they have naan, and so on and so forth. So tell me about this product.
Pita product, here mostly people call it Arabic bread or Lebanese bread, but different people of the world call it different names. Like in Egypt, they call it baladi. In Saudi Arabia, they call it buri. In Libya, North Africa, they call it suri. More than 60 type of flatbread is almost in the world, and it started in the history. It shows that it started in Mediterranean and Middle East, and they use it as a scooping utensil and wrap sandwiches.
Is it pretty well the same thing all over? Same type of recipe, same type of bread? Or does it change from one country to another?
Oh, the basic recipe is the same thing, you know, flour, water, sugar, salt, and yeast. And some places, no yeast, they use the old dough or sourdough.
Like a Polish, yeah.
Like a Polish. And after a while, the Greek, you know, adopted this pita bread.
Right.
To make it, you know, pizza crust. And the name pita probably came from the Greek word pita with double T, you know,
okay.
P-I-T-T-A.
I don't know that one, but what about this one? Yeah, pita bread.
Yeah, then when it comes in recent kind of years, in Western countries, they use it as a pocket pita. So they use it as to open the side of the pita and fill it, stuff it with different food, and they use it as a pocket pita.
As opposed to the Greeks, where the Greeks is just a wrap. It's a little softer, I noticed. It's not, doesn't have the layer in between. If you go to a Greek restaurant, for example, you'll have something that's wrapped around. In fact, they use it as a dipping for your tzatziki with the calamari, as opposed to your pita bread that you have here.
Yeah, ours is mostly used to wrap sandwiches.
Yeah.
Most of restaurant that sell shawarma and donairs, they use pita bread for that. And the recent trend is to wrap the sandwich with another kind of bread, which is a thinner kind of bread that we have it here for you to show.
And I can see that all these lovely pita breads here, and if you've ever had a shawarma or a donair in the city, then it probably came from Shamsane Bakery, because you are one of the leaders in the producing of this fine product here.
Yeah, the reason our pita bread is famous for wrapping sandwiches is because it doesn't crack, or I can show you one of those pitas that we have here.
This is your standard pita bread, a white pita bread?
That's a standard white pita bread that the restaurant use for sandwich.
Okay.
So I do it like that. Extreme testing it. So
okay, this is the test.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when you open it, there is no crack in the bread.
And that is a real piece of bread. This is not a piece of cloth or anything. And you can see that it's still intact. And that shows you the quality of this bread. It's intact and it hasn't changed or cracked anywhere.
Yeah.
That's a quality pita bread, Karim.
Yeah, thank you. The most popular bread for the home use is our large pita bread. Is about 12 inches in diameter.
Okay.
That most people buy this for daily use at home. And we make different sizes in white and whole wheat.
Okay.
So restaurants use different sizes of bread to make you small or medium or large sandwiches. So when we started with Shamsane Pita Bakery. So our name was Shamsane Pita Bakery, but over time we added different kind of bread or flatbread to our lineup. And then we changed the name from Shamsane Pita Bakery to Shamsane Bakery to
Because
give
you
it
have
a
so many
broader,
other products
so
here.
many other
Yeah.
products.
So this thin bread, I remember I've been to some doner shops and shawarma places. They'll take this thin bread and they'll wrap it around the pita to give it like a crispy outside crust. Am I right, Reza?
Absolutely. It makes it a lot easier just in terms of crispiness, but also in terms of holding in all the sauces. I mean, if you've had a good doner or shawarma, you know, it's dripping with garlic sauce, sweet sauce.
Yeah, all over me sometimes.
Exactly. So it's very handy. It's very thin, very light, but it also crisps up really well when you grill it. So
Yeah.
it's a wonderful addition. A lot of places are using it now, and we're hoping even more start.
Is that something unique to Shamsane, this thin product here? Or other?
It's not unique, but there are some other people that are making it, but ours is more in demand because we make it more of the whole wheat, so
Yeah.
it's a healthy choice for people.
And I've seen the production of this product. It's very interesting. It's an art to produce, to stretch. There's no machine that produces this.
No,
the
there is
thin
no
bread.
machine
It's
available.
hand stretching over top of a rounded top dome-shaped grill.
Yeah.
So it takes a lot of skill to produce that product.
You know, I say always production of pita is a science,
Yeah.
but the other breads is an art. So you have to be artists to make other bread, but for pita, we just to be scientists to,
Yeah,
to
well,
make it.
obviously, especially as you can see here, I think there's both here art and science, from what I can see here. Reza, you've helped design some of the packaging there.
Absolutely. I mean, one of the challenges, or not challenges, one of the things that I was excited about because it's my field of expertise is, you know, computers, technology, and graphic design is trying to improve the image. And when we take a look at the original bags that we've been running with for 17 years now, it's familiar to a lot of people, but it's also gotten slightly dated. So what we did was we tried to incorporate, a similar type of bag design that we used on our other flatbreads, for example, and bring that into our pita lineup. And that's the brand new pita packaging that we have, and we're hoping, it picks up and we start shipping it out to more locations in the near future.
But at the end of the day, what's inside is what counts. I mean, the packaging is beautiful and everything, but what's inside has always been great.
Absolutely.
And that's the whole idea behind this product here. So next we go on to these, the longer bread. Tell me a little bit about those,
Sure.
Karim.
Yeah, we always watching the market to see what's in demand and what people want. So we got into the production of a bread called mashhadi bread.
Okay.
This is a kind of not thin bread, it's a thicker type of flat bread, and we top it with the seeds, the black
Sesame
seed and
seeds.
sesame seed.
Right.
And the people can use it cut it and use it as a breakfast, toast it and
Okay.
have it for breakfast. So it's in a popular kind of demand for that one too now.
I know, Reza, you mentioned that there's a lot of flexibility with this bread. You can make a long pizza out of it. You can do garlic bread.
Absolutely. Well, if we're talking about our long flatbreads, I'd have to say the Persian Barbary bread, which
Yeah.
you see right next to it, is probably my favorite. It's an incredibly, incredibly light and soft bread. I mean, the easiest thing you can do with it, other than making a pizza on it, is garlic cheese sticks. It's very easy. It's already ridged, so you just apply garlic spread on top of it, put some cheese, cut it up before you put it in the oven, and it just separates after it comes out, and it's beautiful. It's light and crispy and delicious. Easiest way to get fresh garlic cheese sticks.
And who doesn't like garlic cheese stick? And then when you top it off with this Barbary bread, we've got a combination that sounds like a winner.
Absolutely is.
Now we've got the whole wheat version.
Yeah, we have Persian Barbary bread in white and whole wheat.
Yeah.
And we have a thicker kind of bread, which is called Afghan tandoori.
Okay.
So we make it in a white and whole wheat and long or round. So depending on your taste, you can choose whatever you want. We are trying to bring, different tastes from all over the world to our customer here to try everything.
And then we've got the rounded tandoori. This is the same
This
recipe?
is the same recipe,
It's
but
just a
some
round.
people like it to be round, and they
Okay.
can use it as a pizza shell also. Some people
Yeah, I can
prefer
see that. So you've got here the thick flatbread. Now, this you mentioned that it could also be a pizza.
It's one of my absolute favorites for pizza. I mean, if you ever bought, pizza crust or pizza shells at a store, not only are they expensive, they're usually not very good. When you go to somewhere like a Pizza Hut and you get like their pan pizza with the soft, thick but like soft and light bread, this will do it, and it's a lot cheaper than that. I mean, obviously I don't want to promote too much, but it's incredible. Once it goes in the oven, it comes out completely crispy on the outside, incredibly soft on the inside, and you can go from from nothing to full ready to eat pizza in about 10-15 minutes tops. So you got to try it.
We've got this lovely cookie product. Karim, what is this?
Yeah, we are expanding our kind of business into producing some cookies and sweet. We have these baklava here.
Yeah.
So we are producing that baklava in different kind of packaging for the restaurant market. The restaurant offers to their customer baklava, and for the consumer use in smaller packages.
The mahmoud here, this cookie, is filled with dates and
the
other items.
mahmoud here is our new addition to our product. Very soon it will be in the market.
What is the origin of this cookie?
Origin probably is Middle Eastern too.
Okay,
And,
but it's not specific to Iran or Egypt?
No, I think most people like it. We did a test run for the customer here. Whoever we gave them to test it, they all love it. And as you see, I can show you one of the these cookies. If you
okay, there's a nice filling in there.
See, the filling inside is all natural dates, no preservative or anything.
And the outer shell is like a shortbread cookie.
Kind of, yeah.
Let me have a little chunk of that. Yeah, it's pretty good stuff. Yummy.
We're gonna have different filling for that. We'll have pistachio filling, we have walnut filling, but we started with the date filling for that.
That's a tasty product. Now, all of this product, is it done in one oven or different products done in different pieces of equipment?
No, to tell you the truth about it, every bread is done with a different equipment. We go all over the world attending the bakery shows to see what is in the market, and we find the equipment that we might use, but we bring it here and we do the modification on that one to fit whatever you want to make. So the pita bread is totally different. That, as you saw, it is a hand stretch on the dome oven, and those have different ovens to make.
Your main big seller here is the pita bread. That's done. I saw a huge conveyor type oven that produces a lot of heat. What kind of degrees are we talking about?
We're talking about 600 to 650 degrees Celsius. So
that's impressive.
It's the highest temperature oven in the bakery business.
God bless us. Okay.
And that's what makes pita to be separated, two layers.
Okay.
As you know, when the flattened, proofed pita dough goes into the oven, it quickly becomes around the pita becomes hardened.
Like a ball.
No, first it
Oh, okay.
becomes hard on the flattened one,
Okay.
becomes solid around it. Exterior of it will be kind of sealed.
Okay.
But by the time it's on the oven, when it goes ahead in the oven, the amount of heat transferring to the pita makes the water inside the flattened dough to evaporate.
It becomes steam.
Steam, yeah, exactly.
Right.
And the bubbles start to make on the pita.
Okay.
When it goes into oven more, the bubbles grow. For example, first we have 3-4 bubbles, and after we have about maybe 10 bubbles, and the bubbles grow all and you get together and becomes one bubble. So when the pita,
That's a big balloon.
exactly,
I saw that,
when
yes.
it goes out of the oven, it's
Yeah.
a big balloon.
And then from that point on, it starts to flatten down until it becomes the
Yep.
pita bread.
Exactly.
So you got this big ball. I saw it coming out of the production line, and you end up with this beautiful product that's separated, and you go, how did they get the layer in there? Now you just explain how that works. Now, you start off, you've got the dough being mixed in a big spiral mixer, and then you've got a water meter that produces the exact amount of water. It's all computerized
Yep.
to introduce the water and right temperature into your mixer.
Yes.
So from that point on, what happens?
After the dough is made in the mixer, because the pita production is a continuous, but the dough production is a step kind of thing.
Right.
So we have to make some dough to feed the machine that is continuous. So the dough should be, the quality of the dough should be about half an hour time that when it goes to the machine give us the same quality. After the dough is made, we put it in the bins, we cover them, and they sit for a while to rise. Yeast,
Proof.
you know, does the job.
Yeah.
Then it goes to our cutting machine. So the cutting machine cuts the dough. When it goes to the cutting machine, there's a proximity sensor. When the dough extrudes from the machine, they cut it, they give the signal to the cutter to cut it on the pieces that we want, and then those cut doughs goes through the first proofer. They go back and forth to kill time, and then goes through the sheeter or flattener to make it flattened. After that, it goes to the second proofer to make the flattened dough proofed and ready to go to the oven.
So everything is time sensitive.
It's time sensitive. Everything is, if we have any problem in the system, all the dough there has to be thrown away because we can't use a dough that is 10 more minutes sitting there.
And of course, the equipment is it's a precise type of equipment that you have to know exactly what you're doing with that machine. And when you have problems with these machines, it's good that you have a degree in mechanical engineering because you can fix these things. Yeah. As opposed to calling a repairman, what am I going to do? But you know, you're ready and on the go with all your tools and equipment, and you can fix that. For those of you who haven't had a donair before or shawarma, and you want to eat some of this beautiful bread, what are other things that you can do with this pita bread and the Afghan bread and so on? Reza.
Well, with the pita bread, it's really incredibly simple. It's, as you've probably seen with any kind of a wrap and with how soft ours is, lay it out flat, put on whatever sauces, filling, whether it's veggies, meats, cheeses, anything you want, roll it up, toss it in the oven, or if you have a little tiny grill at home, it's really simple as that. And if you have the Sage bread or the Marcouk bread, the super thin one, it's literally paper thin. You can actually see light coming through it if you hold it up to the light. It's a wonderful piece of bread that it's hard to imagine being stretched out that thin. But if you want to make a good wrap, once you're finished wrapping it in the pita, just wrap it with a thin layer of that, toss it in the grill or the oven, comes out super crispy, incredibly delicious. And it's really easy to do. I mean, that's a 2-minute job.
And as your dad said, you can stuff it, you can top it, you can dip it, you can wrap with it.
You can make a pita pizza with it.
Yeah, it's such a flexible product.
Some people, cut the pita and put a little olive oil and garlic on it and make pita chips at home.
Well, that's
So
what
it's
I've
very
done.
healthy choice.
I've taken this bread here, I've cut it up into triangles, I've mixed it with olive oil, spices, and things like that, toss it in the oven, and now you've got a pita chip that you can use to dip your hummus, your baba ganoush, any kind of nice dip. So this is perfect for these kinds of applications.
And we also have, with the Persian barber, I already mentioned garlic cheese bread, but I mean, what you can also do with it, because it's already pre-ridged, if you go ahead and cut them just along the sides here, into the length that you want, and you toss that in the oven, when it comes out and separate them, you can top them with anything. We've done Nutella, we've done like salsa con queso, the cheese salsa, for example, or even pesto, whatever you want. It's incredibly simple to do that, and it's very delicious because it gets so crispy on the outside, but still light and fluffy on the inside. It's a very similar type of bread to the thick flatbread that we have on the very edge there that I mentioned as well, that you can use for pizza. But some people also like a heartier bread. They like, you know, when they're having pizza, and that's where we have the round Afghan tandoori bread. That gives you a nice thick, you know, shell for pizza. You can top that. What I like to do is, if you don't have a lot of time, you don't want to go through, you know, getting a pizza kit because you know it's so hard to do, is get some pesto, whether it's just you know, herb pesto or tomato pesto. Incredibly easy. Just put some of that on top of there. Pour some whatever kind of cheese you like. In the oven it goes, comes out, it's ready to go, ready to eat. It's so fresh and delicious.
And you mentioned that it's a pizza, but it's not as thick or heavy as a pizza. It's quite light.
The thick flatbread is an incredibly light shell, and that's one of the reasons I like it. Like, you wouldn't believe how easily it separates. You know, it's sponge. Like, you can go ahead and press that right now. Press down on it if you want to check how spongy that is.
Spongy.
Incredibly spongy and soft. And the beautiful part about that is it's not going to be a soft shell when you bake it. When you make a pizza with that, the outside gets incredibly crispy, so you get that nice crunch with that softness on the inside.
So you want to bake that at a high temperature, obviously, when you introduce that with all your toppings in the oven.
Yeah.
You want to go crispy, so it's already pre-baked. So what you want to do is just melt whatever ingredients you get on top. You're going to get crisp top and bottom, and at the same time, melt in your mouth.
Absolutely, simple as that.
Now let's talk about the exclusive baking process of this product that you have here.
Yes, we use a special baking process because all equipment are the same. So everybody can buy an equipment, but not everybody can produce the same type of
Absolutely.
bread. So it's a baking process that makes the bread different from each other. And what we do here in some of our bread, we don't use any preservative, or we can call it no artificial preservative. We have it on our bread, some of the bread. And the amount of sodium in the bread, we lowered it actually, but our normal bread now is less than Health Canada's 2016 target.
Great.
So we're already there. We don't have to do any adjustment on our recipes to be there because we already had it. And for our pita bread, 55 gram of our white pita bread gives you 8% of your dietary fiber. And our whole wheat pita gives you 10% of your dietary fiber.
Not only is it good, it's healthy.
Exactly.
Now, as far as buying your product, where is this product available? Reza?
Well, I mean, if you want to check out our website, www.shamsane.com, you can visit. We have actually a store locator map, so you can pop in your address. It'll show all the nearby locations with how far they are with their phone number and what breads they carry. So it's an incredibly handy tool. You should definitely check it out.
And your product is sold throughout Western Canada, from Winnipeg to Victoria.
Yes.
To mostly donair shops, shawarma shops, grocery stores all across Western Canada.
Yes.
What's next for you? Eastern Canada?
If the transportation cost was not that much, we were there by now.
It's a big country. Yeah, I understand what that's all about.
Because people in Victoria, you know, they pay too much to get our bread there. Although there are pita bakeries in Vancouver, which is very close to them, but they prefer to pay shipping to get our bread there.
They want the Shamsane product. Yeah, that's right. And as far as delivery in the city here, you've got trucks to deliver to your donair and shawarma shops throughout the city.
Yeah, throughout the Calgary, we do our delivery by our kind of trucks here.
Yeah.
And out of Calgary, we send it with shipping company, depending on customer demand. We send it fresh or frozen.
Great. Well, we've been at Shamsane Bakery here in Calgary, speaking with Karim and Reza Sharifat, and we've looked at some of those fine products that we are available here, not only at grocery stores, but like I said, at shawarma shops and doner shops throughout the city. I want to thank you, gentlemen, for bringing these products to the city here and introducing our audience to these lovely products.
Thank you for having us.